All right, this is my ultimate guide to eating around the world at Disney World, and I'm going to tell you my favorite food in each country, starting in Mexico always. Now, the obvious move here is to stop at the cantina for some quick nachos and margaritas, but if you do have a little more time, I like to go inside to La Cava del Tequila, where it's nice and cool, and they have a much more fun, kind of crazy margarita selection. Personally, I do love the avocado margarita. It is creamy and dreamy, and paired with the chips and queso here, that's my go-to move in Mexico. Now, if I want to do a sit-down meal, I will go to San Angel Inn, but only if you can request a table by the water, because this is a restaurant I really come to for like the vibe. The food is totally fine in my opinion, but it's really all about the backdrop here. I do think across the way at La Hacienda, the food is slightly better maybe, but the theming, it just doesn't do it for me as much. I'm sorry. And on to Norway, where I'm gonna be honest, I never linger too long in Norway. I like to grab a frozen Viking coffee if the mood strikes me just right. And I will say the school bread here totally lives up to the hype. It is just sweet enough. And I love that creamy vanilla center. It's so good. Okay, now heading to China, where we've got Joy of Tea. I kind of think this is like the most slept on little snack booth at Epcot. The egg rolls here are so good, y'all. They are perfect in the honey hibiscus hard iced tea with blueberry boba. Come on, it's even better. Great pairing. Now, I do like Nine Dragons as a sit-down restaurant. It's usually easy to get a reservation. And the food here is underrated. It is sort of standard Chinese restaurant food, but they have some more interesting options too. My personal favorite is the duck fried rice. All right, chugging along over to Germany, where if you like pretzels, skip the Mickey pretzels and come here instead for the huge Bavarian soft pretzel. Also, everyone talks about the caramel corn here, and it is good, but I usually skip past it and go straight for the cookie case. Honestly, I think I've tried almost all of them at this point, and they don't miss. But my favorite is the salted caramel buttercream cookie sandwich. Incredible. And for table service, let's head into Beer Garden Restaurant. This is another one you can generally always get a last minute reservation for. And I'm going to venture to say it's the most fun restaurant in all of Epcot. Now, does that mean it has the best food? Not in my opinion, but it's really not bad. And the live entertainment is just so great. It makes it worth it. Okay, on to Italy, where my move is to go straight to Tutto Gusto Wine Cellar for maybe a little limoncello. And hot tip, they also serve the whole menu for Tutto Italia here. And you don't need a reservation. So I'd go here if you're craving some pasta. But for pizza, we of course have the pizza window, which is sometimes open if you want just something quick and sleazy and cheesy. But I would say it's worth it to get a reservation at Via Napoli if you really want pizza cooked in a wood-fired oven. I used to think this was kind of overrated, but last time I went, the pizza was so damn good. It shot up to the top of my list of table service restaurants. And also, the calamari here in this spicy marinara sauce is so good. You gotta get it. And we're on to the American Adventure Pavilion, where you've got Regal Eagle Smokehouse Barbecue as kind of the centerpiece. And I think this is another really underrated spot. Like, as far as theme park barbecue goes, this is really solid. And the garlic bread they give you is really wonderful, especially dipped in the baked beans. And on to Japan. I think this is probably the most beautiful pavilion. I could spend a long time here just zenning out. There's a little hidden Mickey right here, hot tip. And if you want to stay a while, it's always good to pop into Teppan Edo, kind of a typical hibachi restaurant with some Disney flair. I love the violet sake martini, and the udon noodles here are a must order. They are just like really next level delicious. Now, if you want a quick service, little sweet treat, very sweet treat, you can get the kakigori, which is Japanese shaved ice. If you get it with the sweetened condensed milk, I gotta warn you, it is very sweet. Be aware. Now, on to Morocco for my favorite, most underrated sit-down restaurant, Spice Road Table. This is probably the spot you'll find me most often at Epcot. I love the tea service. If you want a cocktail, the Moroccan Mule made with fig vodka is incredible. And I pretty much just adore their whole menu. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be these cheese-filled phyllo triangles. And also, this is a really good spot to watch the fireworks that I feel like nobody talks about. But we gotta move onward to France. I do love French food now, but for some reason, I usually only stop here for two things. The first is the croque glacé, which is like a pressed ice cream sandwich inside of a brioche bun. You can choose your ice cream flavors and the sauces. This is just a really fun, inventive little sweet snack. And then the Grand Marnier slush, which is an absolute must. I can't leave Epcot without it. And there are a few table service restaurants here. Monsieur Paul is the fancy prefix menu one. I've actually never eaten there though. And the newer spot is La Crêperie, which I'm honestly not like a huge fan of, although their dessert crepes are pretty nice. All right, y'all, we're almost done. On to the UK, where you gotta hit up the Rose and Crown pub. I will say, this is probably like the most rowdy spot in Disney World, especially later at night when people have been drinking around the world all day long. But it's also a really good little sit-down restaurant. My favorite menu item here is the bangers and mash. The fish and chips are also really solid, and of course you can get them at the quick service spot across the way as well. And finally, we are in Canada. I love Canada. It's so beautiful over here. And my hot take is that the maple popcorn in Canada is better than the caramel corn in Germany. Now, for a sit-down meal, you've got Le Cellier, which is a steakhouse. But my favorite move here is to get a little whiskey flight, order one of their signature poutines for my entree, and then for dessert, the warm pecan brown butter tart is so delicious. It's like the best pecan pie. Y'all need to try it. Okay, let me know what spots I missed and where you want me to try on my next trip, which is real soon. Okay, bye.